All right, number two. This is another mistake that we see really often. And if any of you have ever played golf, this gets thrown around the golf course a lot. You drive for show and you putt for dough, meaning that yes, driving is great. You know, it's awesome if you can hit a ball 300, 400 yards, but where the money is made is really on the greens. And if you know golf, you know that, ideally you're able to excel in every facet of the game. The distance, the approach, the close game, it's all very important. From a marketing perspective, that is also true. Too many people focus on one thing. They're buying leads, that's their trick. But what happens if that well dries out? You don't have anything to rely on, right? So you've got to look at things very holistically, and you have to have a system that can help you to predictably drive growth that's in line with where you want to go. Just a quick stat for you from Salesforce. So in the earlier 2000s, it was common for consumers, when in the market for a product, to have a couple interactions with a company. Today, that is 5 to 20 times plus, depending on what the product is. And I'm sure anyone on here can attest to this. We've got tons of devices. We're connected to the hip. Anytime we're looking for something, very easy to research. So you can't hide anymore. And people know that, homeowners know that. So they do their research. They're looking for information online. So you've got to leverage that opportunity, right? So to better understand this, and kind of keep digging a bit deeper here, if we look at the traditional buyer journey, so up at the top, marketing used to be responsible for getting your company, your brand, your products and services in front of people. And then sales would kind of kick in and help consumers to sort of get through that path to purchase, that from that consideration stage over to the decision stage. Today, the more modern buyer's journey is very different. Marketing becomes a lot more influential, yes, in awareness, to get that initial touch, to get in front of people. But at the same time, like I said earlier, the consideration window is huge. There's so many touch points. So we talked about somebody becoming a lead. Great. What is your sales cycle like? Is it a couple of weeks? Is it a couple of months? Doesn't mean that marketing stops once you've generated that lead. You can keep going, So really important. Now, it's important to understand it because, again, the buyer journey, most people are focusing their attention here. All of their marketing dollars are geared to get in front of people who are ready to buy now. And reality is, it's not everybody that's buying today. Some people are doing their research, but they're going to buy soon. They buy in a couple months. Some aren't necessarily thinking about it. And so this pyramid here kind of illustrates that. Most people are focused up here, where you can go and get another 67%, basically allowing you to tap into 70% of the potential market by marketing a little bit differently. So the 3%, for those of you that are kind of wondering, what does that look like? Well, yes, you might be running ads on Google, right? So you're trying to get in front of somebody who's looking for a roofing company. And guys, if you're not a roofer, forgive me. There's a lot of examples here that are roofing focused, but I may have touched on this earlier. We work with roofing companies, siding, windows and doors, remodelers, kitchens, baths. This stuff still applies, okay? So here, if somebody is looking for a company, they see an ad, they get to a landing page, they convert or they don't. This is that 3%. This is that, I'm showing an ad to somebody who's got high intent. They're looking to replace the roof. Great. This is the other 67%. So same thing. They conduct a search. They see an ad. They come to a page, but they don't convert right away, which happens 90% of the time. And for anyone here who's doing any kind of paid media, just think about it for a second. Your conversion rates are not 50%. They're likely anywhere from 5 to 10%. So that means that all that money that you've spent to get in front of those people, 90% of people are not converting. They're not turning into leads. So do you say, okay, well, I'm done. I'm not going to try to continue to get in front of them and stop? That would mean that, that marketing budget is rendered useless. You got in front of people once and then it's over. No, the idea is you continue. And as you can see here, this is where all those different touch points come in. So if somebody's been to our page and we know they've not become a lead, but we know there's an interest, well, now we can serve them ads on platforms like Facebook and YouTube. We can serve them display ads with the intention, of course, of bringing them back to our website. Now, as a byproduct of running ads and investing more heavily in digital, you can actually create more demand around your company. You can push people to go and search for your company just because they have been exposed to you, who you are, what you do, how you do it for a certain period of time. So now all of a sudden you're driving a branded search because of your marketing efforts. And really all you're doing is you're capitalizing on that initial touch point. So the end goal is the same. It's to get that lead to then generate the customer, but you have to factor in all the different touch points that lead up to that sale. And a lot of people, unfortunately, they're a little bit more of a, let's get in front of someone, it works or it doesn't, and it stops there. And this is just a big waste.